Hi guys, it's Wendy with Ask the Landlady. I'm here with all the tips and tricks to help you make a profit in real estate rentals and also to talk about timeshare. Today's talk is the timeshare exit crisis that nobody's talking about. So, welcome back. Today's video is I've talked to the people who are in timeshare, who are thinking about timeshare, and today I'm going to talk to the people who are already in, the timeshare owners who are looking for a way out and not sure where to turn. Because here's what's happening right now. We are in the middle of a massive timeshare exit crisis. Owners are walking away. They're seeking legal help. They're defaulting on fees, and they're desperately searching for someone to take the timeshare off their hands, often for free. And where there's desperation, there's scammers. So let me give you the full picture here. Let's talk about the scale of the problem. The timeshare industry is seeing a fundamental shift from 2025 into today, 2026. More owners than ever are actively seeking to cancel their contracts. The driving forces are rising maintenance fees, which I covered in another video, combined with a deepening dissatisfaction with systems that aren't even close to delivering what was promised. And I've talked about that as well. These maintenance fees have gotten so high that people are just getting desperate and needing to get out. And as people leave the industry, maintenance fees are only going up because suddenly if you have 100 owners and 20 of them leave, that 80 that are left are going to end up paying more fees. So it's just a self-perpetuating crisis. This isn't a small fringe group that this is happening. With more than 10 million vacation ownership households in the US, 10 million, even a modest percentage of owners seeking exit represents hundreds of thousands of families, right? And the industry knows this. The major timeshare companies have legal teams dedicated specifically for contract enforcement. They didn't write these perpetual contracts by accident. They wrote them knowing that people were going to want to try to get out, and then they wanted to try to counteract that. So they designed the exit to be as difficult, expensive, and time-consuming as possible. They want to wear you down and keep you coming back for more. So let's get right into it. What are your actual exit options? So let me walk you through this honestly. Unfortunately, if you're in the system, it's not good news. First, easiest is the rescission period. Every state has a legally mandated cooling off period for a timeshare contract, typically between 3 and 15 days, depending on where you bought it. So say you bought in South Carolina and you see they have a 5-day rescission period. If you're within those 5 days, you can cancel it. You have buyer's remorse the next day, cancel it immediately. You can cancel for any reason with no penalty. That's the cleanest exit there is. So if you're within that, stop watching this video. You know what to do. Go and look at your contract and do exactly what they said. They want you to send it certified, send it certified. They want it email. They want you to call in. I do all of them and cancel that. You can finish watching my video later. Hit subscribe, then leave. Second, you can do a negotiated exit. Some timeshare companies have started providing or offering formal deed back or surrender programs, particularly for older properties or owners facing genuine financial hardship. You have an elderly father who owns one, he's had a stroke, he's not traveling. That would be a hardship case that you could go to the company. These programs, unfortunately, are inconsistent and they're not widely advertised. They do exist. It's always worth contacting your timeshare company directly first. So you have an elderly relative that needs to get out, call in and talk to them and be forceful and keep asking until you can get out. Because that seems like a legitimate reason. They probably paid for that timeshare. If they bought it 30 years ago, it's been more than paid off. If you can deed back that program, they can go sell it again to somebody else, some other schmuck. There should be a system for that. So make sure you call that timeshare operator first. They might make you pay some extra maintenance fees. They might actually make you pay a fee. But in a scheme of things, that's another second easiest way to get out is simply to ask and negotiate an exit strategy with the developer, okay, with your real estate person or your timeshare people. Okay. Third, legal strategies. Owners who believe they were misled during a sales presentation about fees, resale value. We were all misled because they can legally lie to you. You may have grounds for a legal claim. Demand letters, contract breach claims, settlement negotiations, those are all in play. This requires working with an attorney who specializes in timeshare law, and it's by no means a slam dunk. Have you seen these contracts? They can say whatever they want. They have a salesperson's license to lie. They can lie to you verbally, but what the contract says goes. So a lot of these timeshare companies that are trying to, attorneys saying that they'll get you out of it, are simply doing the same things you could do yourself. Okay. So you're paying them all this money and they could be scams overnight. So if you want to do it yourself, DIY, never buy timeshare, buy my book, tell you what to do. Fourth, you can default. Some owners simply stop paying. This is the nuclear option. If you have done all those other things, do it. By all means, it is a viable strategy. Now, they don't like me telling you about that because it does make cost drive up for everybody, but I feel like you should go through all the other channels first, and especially if it's paid off. If you have financed this, that's definitely going to be trickier because they will foreclose on you and that will hurt your credit. But if, my 80-year-old in-laws who have bought this and have more than paid for it and they won't give it back, they just mailed the deed back in the mail and said, here, listen, we're not paying anymore. Go after our credit. I'm not planning on buying anything new anyway. There should be a legal consequence of getting out. So I don't feel bad about saying that. I know people come after me and say, don't tell people to stop paying. That makes it hard on all the rest of us in timeshare. I understand and I agree, but that means the industry needs to get a better way to help people get out of these timeshares other than what we're doing now. There should be a viable option for people that are willing to work, to pay back, or to do what they need to do to try to get out of it. Some states are beginning to act. There's a growing trend towards expanded cancellation windows and stricter disclosure requirements for timeshare companies. And that's progress, but it is slow and it is uneven and it is not here yet. So these are the tools that you have right now at your disposal. So I want to spend a few minutes talking about something else that, while we're having a crisis and people wanting out, there's another crisis going right along that, a crisis on top of a crisis, and that's timeshare exit schemes. Because there's so many desperate timeshare owners, there's now an entire industry of predatory companies that will target them. They'll claim they can get you out of your timeshare contract, usually for a large upfront fee, sometimes for tens of thousands of dollars. And many of them are fraudulent. They take your money, do little to nothing, and they disappear. A lot of times they might tell you exactly what I do. Well, we'll just stop paying and see what they do. And then they'll write a few lawyer letters and they'll charge you $10,000. You could do that yourself, right? If your credit's gonna be damaged and stuff anyway, why pay this, company to do that? So here's how you identify a legitimate exit company versus a scam. Legitimate, they have an actual attorney on staff who reviews your contract. Legitimate, they don't guarantee outcomes. Legitimate, they're transparent about the process and the timeline. Legitimate, they do not demand the full fee up front. All good. Red flags. Upfront fees of tens of thousands of dollars with no escrow arrangement, no, guarantee at the end. They'll guarantee you an exit promise, but you got to give them all the money up front, right? Now the red flag, they have no verifiable physical address, some post office box, something overseas, some key lock box, whatever. On a red flag, they found you through a cold call or an online ad, right? So if you're trying to exit a timeshare, my recommendation is to look at a debt attorney or somebody who deals in real estate in that state who is licensed before you pay some third-party exit company. That this person might be able to help you negotiate something based on a health status. Or they, if you just don't want to do the legwork of calling the timeshare company and being persistent and you feel like you want somebody with some legitimacy, by all means, hire a reputable attorney to help you do that negotiation process. But make sure you know what you're getting into with that. So here's my honest take. The timeshare exit crisis is a symptom of a larger disease, a business model that was designed from the beginning to be difficult or nearly impossible to leave. It's a bad product. Never buy it. The industry will tell you that there were exit strategies there, and technically there was a small recession period, but the path out is deliberately narrow, expensive, and time-consuming. That's not an accident. This is the product. It is a poorly designed, non-consumer friendly product. The best exit strategy is to never buy one. And I know that doesn't help the person who's already in, but for everyone watching who isn't in yet, who's just curious about timeshares, I thought it might be a great idea. I know my friend has one. They seem to love it so much. I thought this would be a great way to pay for vacations. Don't do it. There's so many other ways to vacation that you never need this product. It will come to haunt you. It will come to bite you in the butt. I've known people who've used it for 25 years, loved it, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh wait, we don't want to saddle our kids with this. What do we do with this? We don't want it anymore. We're too old to travel. There has to be a better way to go about doing this. And there is. Back in the day, there were no Airbnbs and stuff, so we had to do timeshares. We don't have to do anything anymore. Okay, so my book on Amazon has a detailed section on exit options, what works, what doesn't, how to protect yourself from scammers. So please check that out. Hit subscribe. Tell me in the comments, did you get out of a timeshare? I'd love to hear how you did it. I know we all would. I read every single comment and would love to hear from you. And I hope to see you again next week, where we'll be talking either timeshare or real estate investing, or how to get wealthy and valid assets, not timeshare. That's the kind of stuff we like to talk about too around here. So thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.